What up? It's Trent out loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all. Well, first of all, let's start off. It's Friday! Bam, 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 bam. And I have a great show set up for y'all. All right, in Behind the Feed and Off the Record, Desmond Scott's mystery woman has finally been revealed. Also in lead stories, Nick Fuentes has gone too far, and he may lost everything, including his base. Maria Machado has given her Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump, and ICE agents tear gas and a 6-month-old child in Minneapolis, Minnesota. In quick news, we're going to talk ASAP Rocky and Drizzy Drake. As always, we're going to close out the show with social discussion, lesson, and question of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TV, radio, your devices up. Come on, come on, come on. It's Friday. And I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right. Welcome to everybody. We are live and direct as always. The only place that we're not live today that we normally are is on LinkedIn, but welcome everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Kick. What up? I see people already in the comment section. Here is the cover thumbnail for today's show. We got a lot to talk about, all right? So first of all, let's kick things off what everybody is talking about online. This literally just dropped, I don't know, maybe around 2 hours ago as I was preparing for the show. Desmond Scott's, I don't know what you want to call her, his side chick, his new chick, his, I don't know, press girl, publicity girl. There's so many theories of who this girl is. Her name is Maria Spencer, 24 years old, model / business major. We're going to get into it. I'm going to play a video for you that is my video that I put on Instagram. It's my take. And you also see some pictures. It's just easier for me to just play you my take. And then we'll talk about it as we get into it. All right. So here is Desmond Scott. And for those of you who may have missed this week, Desmond Scott, influencer, now separated from Christy Sarah as her new, or I think it's Christy Sarah that she's going with now. Huge, multi-million-dollar influencers, probably the biggest couple online, filed for divorce, separation. And yesterday we played you guys a video that TMZ leaked or broke or whatever with him making out with a mystery woman. And now today we find out who this mystery woman is. Take a look. Further proof that Desmond has been jealous of Christy this entire time. Desmond on TMZ with a girl twice in 24 hours. I know a publicity stunt when I see one. Desmond Scott's mystery woman identified. Here are my 3 narratives. 1, Desmond Scott is using TMZ and Marissa Springer so that he can gain following and traction. He's been jealous of Christy all this time. This is 2 publicity stunts in the past 24 hours. 2, Desmond Scott is also using TMZ to cover up the fact that Christy found out that he was gay. And 3, this also proves the narrative that Christy didn't just leave him for a one-off. Christy left him because he was a dog. I don't know which one of those 3 narratives are correct, but I'm telling you one of the 3 are. Anyways, sources told TMZ the woman who is 24 years old, Marissa Springer, she is a model pursuing a master's degree in business. TMZ said the 2 met for the first time earlier that evening at a Houston bar through a mutual friend. Springer was allegedly unaware of Desmond's online presence and believes that he was single at the time. That's the mistake that the publicist made and that TMZ made. How are you going to meet through a mutual friend, but you don't know who he is? Obviously, the mutual friend knows who Desmond is. Caught in a lie. TMZ was told that there was an immediate connection, and after a few drinks, things got spicy. Yeah, and then there was just a cameraman recording and then sent it to TMZ. It's unclear whether the 2 plan to meet each other again. Well, they will meet each other again, and there will be more because Desmond needs this to gain his following, which I think is going to friggin' backfire on him, but hey, I'm not his publicist. Now, this is the picture that you might see of Marissa floating online. And you might even see this picture floating online. But hold up, I have one that's not floating online. I feel like this picture tells us all we need to know about Marissa. And now let's compare that picture to Christy. Yeah, you messed up, bro. But hey, maybe you don't even like girls. I can't tell you what to like, dog. As I said yesterday, I feel bad for the kids, man. But hey, y'all gotta live your life. All right, so let's break that down, okay? First of all, let's break down what the publicist has put out. I think, like I just said, I think I have three theories. Let's go over the theory of this is Desmond saying, all right, it's out there. We are out there. I want to capitalize on this moment. I have 1.5 million followers. She has 10 million followers. The dynamic in the relationship hasn't worked out to my favor. I'm just the chef. I'm just the guy who's ridiculed, etc. Now that we're separated and you want to file for divorce, I am going to use this opportunity to make sure that I take everything that I can out of this time. Christy is being very, very silent. She's put out one picture and, one picture, like a couple of pictures saying same address and some other thing. I don't remember. We played it last week, but she's been very, very quiet. And of course, definitely not been seen with any guy or anything. So if we go back to this TMZ write-up, it's the mystery woman seen kissing Desmond Scott a couple of days after the news broke that he was getting a divorce from Christy Scott has been identified. Sources told TMZ she's 24 years old, Marissa Springer. She's a model pursuing a master's degree in business. This is where I want to focus on. TMZ says the two met for the first time early that evening at a Houston bar through a mutual friend. Hold on, let me finish. Springer was allegedly unaware of Desmond's online presence and believed he was single at the time. Now, we have all been hooked up by a mutual friend at some point in our lives, okay? I don't care how old you are, it's happened. One guy, hey, I know Trent. Hey, I know Mary. Hey, Trent does this. He's a YouTuber. He used to have retail stores, blah, 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 blah. This is his background. He's Jamaican. You tell the person, or you have a mutual friend, hey, by the way, Trent, I want to hook you up with Mary. Mary is blah, 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 blah. You got to say he's just been divorced. You got to say something about him. And especially in this day and age, girls are going to want to check that out and be like, hold up, who is this Desmond guy? What's his Instagram? What's his social? And then she would know. So 100%, I don't know whose publicist is, but it's already not a good job because I could see the holes already through this. And again, that is my first theory is he wants to go out there. He wants to show the world that he was not this cook husband that was just beta man. He's out there in a club making out with girls. It's not what you think. And I'm about to, get on her level, brand deals. I'm the player out here. Okay. Second theory is him being gay, which that's what a lot of people online think. And that is a narrative that I think makes sense because from the beginning of all this, I have said and been adamant about it has to be something major. Now, I understand there's some women in the chat, even my own chat, that were like, Trent, it could just be a one-off that he cheated one time and she left him. And while I understand there's some women that are like that, there's also some women that will look and evaluate the situation and say, look, we've been together since we're 14 years old. We have 2 children together. We have a very, very big thriving business together where we make $15-20 million last year. You made one oops. Okay, let's go to counseling. Let's go to therapy. Do you love this person or whatever? And I think it's possible, more possible that she would say, okay, let's work that out. That's why for me, the divorce, I think it's something big, whether it was multiple women or even another baby or gay, where it's like, we got a divorce. Like there's no turning back. If you're gay, there's no turning back. So I think that's a theory. Now, if Desmond doesn't want to be outed as gay, what would you run to the internet to do? You would run to the internet, you'd get a publicist and you'd be like, yo, put everything on TMZ. And that's why I started out my take on Instagram like that is, you're telling me you're hitting up TMZ 2 times in 24 hours? I know TMZ. I spent half the summer with them at the Diddy trial, and we all know how TMZ operates, okay? I would say 60 or 70% of the things you see on TMZ is celebs calling. Kim Kardashian is famous for that. We're going to be here. We're going out here. We're doing this. So if the second theory about him being gay and he wants to get away from that before Christy gets to out him, he's going to come out and be like, yo, mystery woman, the next day, all of a sudden. Now, the reason why I feel like it's a stunt is, let's say this was something like when what's the name of that girl that outs all the rappers? Oh my gosh. We just were talking about the girl who just outed Offset. Selena Powell. If this was a Selena Powell kind of leak video where it was like you saw him like in a bedroom and somebody recorded it, or he was on a FaceTime making out with a girl, or like I said, if the girl was in the bed like a Selena Powell making out, it would seem more realistic. But you're not going through a divorce and then go in a club and somebody's hooking you guys up and then you're making out with other people there, and you are the top of conversation right now on entertainment blogs and media. This has to be contrived. He has to know what he's doing. This is not a leak video. This is Desmond wanting himself to be on the internet. You were in a club, sir. This is not in a bedroom. This is a club where everybody knows who you are. So it's, hey, I want my name out there. I want the popularity. Hey, y'all think I'm gay? Cool. No, I'm going to be up in a club making out with a woman. And then my third theory is, yo, she broke up with him because, it was repeated cheating, and it was repeated women, and she felt like she had enough, and he didn't waste any time to be like, yo, I've been a dog, I'm a dog, and before you guys hear her say it, I want to let you know that I am a dog and I'm out there. So those are my three theories. I don't know. I can't wait to get to the comment section. Y'all sound off, but that is my 2 cents in the Desmond and Christy and this new girl. And that's why I wanted to put out the pictures. Aside from why they broke up, what do you guys think about Marissa Springer? What do you think about her compared to Christy? And I don't know. I want to reserve my comments for, when I come and speak to you guys after, but those pictures, that last picture that I showed you compared to Christy, I don't know. I think you may have taken an L, sir. Okay, let's move on to lead stories. We're going to talk Nick Fuentes, Marissa Machado, and ICE agents. Let's go. All right, Mr. Nick Fuentes. All right, for those of you who might not know who Nick Fuentes is, Nick Fuentes has gained a lot of popularity in the past year. Super controversial. You could think of him as like I don't know, Stephen Miller kind of mixing in with a Andrew Tate, and just saying a lot of salacious, crazy things online. As you guys know, online is the wild, wild west now. If you need to get views, say things that are very salacious. Now, he has made a name for himself by especially calling out Black people, using the N-word, calling Candace Owens the B word. When he talks about her, he says the B word and N-word, like unapologetically, with the hard R. And with, of course, Trump being in office, it's, and a lot of this, we played yesterday, or a couple of days ago, the Elon Musk and, white solidarity or whatever. And it's kind of created a space online for white people to come out and say the things that they used to say in closed doors a couple of years ago. So there is a space, and it has grown. So I'm going to play a video for you of Nick, just to give you a little bit of a background. Now, why he's making headlines is because he has been known to come out and say these crazy, salacious things, especially about women and Black people. But he may have crossed the line and he could lose it all because he is indirectly trying to justify Jeffrey Epstein and his actions. Maybe a step too far, even for that crazy little niche of followers that he has found for himself. And if you guys remember, the niche of the people who really wanted the Epstein files released was MAGA. Donald Trump campaigned on, I'm going to release the Epstein files. That's why he's having such backlash right now. So for Nick to know that this base, the one thing they will not stand for is backing Epstein. You can say anything you want about women. You can say anything you want about black people, about any other ethnicities. But when you go for the P word, when you go for Epstein, that's when you cross the line. Take a listen to Nick. This is young Nick talking about black people and then crossing the line with Epstein. Take a listen.
Who cares? You know, enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, they had to drink out of a different water fountain. Big deal. Oh no, they had to go to a different school. Their water fountain in that famous picture was worse. Who cares? Grow up, drink out of the water fountain. It's water. It's the same. You know, and you know, even if it was bad, who cares? Who cares? It's better. It's better in general. We all agree it was better for them. It's better for us.
The reason that we talk about this, by the way, I know a lot of black people see this and they go, man, why are you always talking about black people, this and that? Because there just needs to be some shame here. Well, there's a few reasons. First, white people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see the thing. It's like,
all right, here's Epstein now.
I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really okay. They weren't tracking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's okay. Relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy, probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there. He's working with Israeli intelligence.
No, sir. The dilemma is, everything that we know about Epstein. Okay, we know. We don't need to see the files. Yeah, we want to see the files to see about Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, but we know about Epstein. He's been convicted. Even if he got a sweetheart deal, we know he has been convicted. And for you, sir, to get on your platform and try to differentiate the technical terminology of the P word, meaning that it is, I'm not even going to give you the definition. Y'all can look it up if you want, but 5 years old versus 11, we do not care about the technicalities, sir. That's disgusting. Now, what we discussed yesterday with DJ Academics and him getting sued for defamation, and for the first time seeing him back down and say, hey, I wanted to talk to the girl and et cetera, et cetera. When you see somebody like Nick Fuentes, he now is backing down from this Epstein thing. You know they're in trouble. People like Academics, people like Nick Fuentes, they have made a name for themselves being one way and sticking to it regardless of what. Versus me, who I'm a different content creator. I, as you guys know, create a platform where it's not only about me, but it's about you guys. It's about building a community. I want Democrats, I want Republicans, I want independents, and I want to give my take, but I also want to hear what you guys have to say. I want you guys to change my mind. One of the reasons why I decided to start recording the show live is at the end of the show, we could go to comment section and we could talk, and I put links so we could speak. So they could have their own way and I can have my own way. When you see those guys who are so used to doing and saying their one thing and then something happens, they start backing down. That's when you know that they are afraid and they are about to lose everything, sponsorships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nick now is on his platform, and I'm not going to play it. I refuse to play because I don't want to give him an out on my platform. But he is now trying to say, I didn't necessarily mean it that way. I didn't mean to say that I was excusing him and like, technically not legal. And I was just literally just trying to be, to actually tell you guys the exact definition of the P word versus what Epstein did. No, sir. No, sir. Nobody wants to hear that kind of definition. Okay. We already know who Epstein is. Huge mistake. And listen, I have, as I told you, I started out, you hear what he says about black people. So no love lost. He could lose everything. I could give a damn. All right. Let's go over now to Maria Machado, who yesterday gave, and for those who are not seeing the video, I'm putting gave in air quotations because she gave Donald Trump her Nobel Peace Prize. And the directors of the Nobel Peace Prize came out and said, you cannot give the Peace Prize. We give it out. So technically, Donald Trump has the actual frame of it, and he could hold that up in, he could put that up in his room if he wants, or in the Oval Office or whatever, but the Nobel Peace Prize is still Maria Machado's. That's first thing. Now, let's talk about why she gave it to him. I'm going to play a video here for you that gives you some information behind it, and then I have a video of her saying why she did it. She is trying to use it as a moment to try to bridge the gap, when we all know you're trying to use it to curry favor to Donald Trump because you want to be the president of Venezuela. Now, I understand your intention, but it's 2025. This world that we're living in, this new generation, they like transparency. Nobody likes it's for this. No, we know what you're doing. So, most people are embarrassed that you would give up your Nobel Peace Prize to curry favor. But if you are going to do that, at least come out and say, listen, I care about Venezuela. I was voted as the opposition party. I should be in there. I am not. Donald Trump and the American people took out Maduro and his people, and now his vice president is there. I want to go there. And I know one of the things that Donald Trump would like is a Nobel Peace Prize. So I'm offering that to please put me in power to really help rebuild Venezuela. That's how you come out and say it. Listen to this.
Yeah, breaking news right now. Maria Corina Machado, the Venezuelan opposition leader, has just confirmed outside of the Capitol that she has presented President Donald Trump with the Nobel Peace Prize. Remember, one of the reasons why Donald Trump did not say that Machado should lead Venezuela was because he was upset that she accepted the Nobel Prize earlier last year. In fact, she, in his opinion, should have just said that Trump deserves it, not her. And well, today she visited the White House. She had lunch with the president, where she presented him with the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, let me make something clear. As is stated by the Nobel Committee, the Peace Prize cannot be transferred once it is given to someone. Donald Trump did not and has not won the Nobel Prize, even if he has the medal in his possession. The Nobel Prize winner is Maria Corina Machado, even if she doesn't have the Nobel Prize in her possession, and even if she wants to give it to the President of the United States to satisfy his personal needs being having a Nobel Prize in his possession.
Maria, did you offer to President Trump your Nobel Peace Prize?
I presented the President of the United States the medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, and I told him this. Listen to this. 200 years ago, General Lafayette gave Simón Bolívar a medal with George Washington's face on it. Bolívar since then kept that medal for the rest of his life. Actually, when you see his portraits, you can see the medal there. And it was given by General Lafayette as a sign of the brotherhood between the United States, people of the United States and the people of Venezuela in their fight for freedom against tyranny. And 200 years in history, the people of Bolivar are giving back the heir of Washington a medal, in this case a medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, as a recognition for his unique commitment with our freedom.
Is it his name?
Okay, that was very loud, but I listened to it 2 or 3 times, and what I've made of it is there was somebody in Venezuela gave something to either George Washington or George Washington's face, and they kept it, and it was a 2-year thing, and it was, she was basically saying, in Venezuela, we do these kind of things, and now this will be inscribed in history that I gave this honor to Donald Trump. You have all those cameras around you, and you don't take the opportunity to talk about you wanting to be the president or vice president or in the office, and this is what you want for Donald Trump to do to you. is a huge waste of time, if you ask me. Here's a picture of Donald Trump holding the Nobel Peace Prize. I hope at least in private, she told him what her intentions were, but you need to put pressure on him also on the outside and for the rest of the world to know what you want. And by the way, look again. Look at the smile on Donald Trump's face. You've ever seen him smile so big? He literally looks like a little kid in a candy store. I got a Nobel Peace Prize. Nobody gave that to you. That's like me winning an Oscar for best male actor and then giving it to somebody. Like, okay, you gave it to somebody, but like I won Young Entrepreneur of the Year award from the Harry Jerome Awards. I gave the statue to my mom's house. I'm still the recipient of the award, like, yes, my mom has it at her house very proudly, but she doesn't look at it like, I'm an entrepreneur and I won my award. Stop it, Trump. Okay. Let's go over to ICE. Now, is this the ICE thing? Oh, no, here it is. Sorry. Now, this is one of the latest developments. I actually was trying to give us, our community, a break from everything that's going on in Minnesota and Minneapolis. But I got wind of this story, and it's just so heartbreaking that I didn't want to pass it by, and I wanted to do my due diligence to spread the word, because the more the world sees these things, the more pressure just Americans and the world will put on Donald Trump and the administration to do something in Minnesota. And like we talked about yesterday, doing something is not invoking the Insurrection Act, which would be bringing in military. What you can do, Mr. President, is literally tell the ICE agents, hey, we are going to stand down for a week and let cooler heads prevail. Let all the news agencies, let all the people who are there covering it, content creators, let everybody leave. You could take a week off. ICE immigration in Minnesota. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's really sunk in anyone's head. ICE is everywhere in the United States, and their job is to crack down on immigration. And according to Donald Trump, the cracking down is the illegal immigrants, for sure, the criminal illegal immigrants, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get them out. Get them out. If you're here undocumented, you broke the law, all the more power to you, sir. We know that's what you got. That's what you campaigned on, and you closed the border. Hooray for you, air horns. Okay, you've done so much better than Joe Biden and all of them. However, your initiative right now is causing way more damage. And I don't think if you pulled out ICE for a week or for 14 days and just let things prevail, let things cool down, and then you just went back in a little bit later on and go and get those same immigrants, I think you'd be okay. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Listen to this man and what happened to his children in his car, and his youngest child was 6 months old.
Threw flashbangs and tear gas in my car, and made I got 6 kids in the car. Lord, my 6 months old can't even breathe. My 2-year-old then flipped out the damn car. This was flipped over. My car filled with tear gas. I'm trying to pull my kids out the car. I'm telling the officer I need ambulance. It took him 5 minutes. He's going back and forth with me, telling me to go back in there and call and tell them to come up Lindale. They can't even come up Lindale.
Were you participating in the protest?
No, I wasn't at all. I didn't care to be, not to say it like that, but I wasn't.
You were just here?
Yes. Yes, I was trying to leave. Officer, I told him I was trying to leave. He stood. It was.
The officer knew you were trying to leave?
Yes, the officer knew I was trying to leave.
The ICE officer?
Yes. He literally saw us trying to leave, and they threw 3 flashbangs at my car. Wasn't nobody even around my car.
And they hit the outside of your car?
Yes, they hit the outside and under my car.
And under, outside and under.
Look.
Do you know how many were thrown?
3.
3? Look at the car seat.
And I had to snatch my damn kids out the car.
Yeah, can you what was it like to be inside the vehicle when...
I didn't know what was going on. All I know, I was trying to pull out, then out of nowhere, the flashbangs kept on getting thrown at the car.
and you. So
how long did it take to come and check on your child? It took me about. I grabbed 2 kids at a time, running in and out the house. I barely can breathe because it was tear gas all up in my car. Like my car filled up with smoke. And you have a 6-month-old, you said, right? Yes. He's going to the. My wife is taking him to the hospital now.
Is that your kid?
Wow. Do you hear the concern in that man's voice? Could you just imagine how they must feel? And the thing that I really liked about this is that when the reporter said, "Are you part of the protest?" He's like, "No, I don't even care." And then he stops himself and he's like, "It's not that I don't care at all." Like he's literally like, "Yo, I don't care about all of this. Like I'm just a man just trying to feed my family and to do whatever I got to do." And it's incidents like this that I always go back since we've been talking about this, and it's Donald Trump and his administration is literally destroying the fabric of America. America is turning 250 years old this year. It is supposed to be the leading nation. It is supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the brave, the home of democracy. That's why you have people coming to the United States of America. And when you hear stories like this with fathers and mothers, it is literally heartbreaking. But because it's Friday and I want to try to, keep this a little bit more upbeat, we're going to move on from the story, but very, very sad. Okay, let's go over to quick news. We're going to talk about Drizzy Drake and A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. All right. Okay, let's set this up. Yo, A$AP Rocky put out an album today. I think I don't even remember the name of it. Don't Get Me Wrong or Don't Do Something. I can't remember what it is. He has a song that said, "You bit my style" or "bite my style." And in that song, he's going at Drake, which is like, can we get over the Drake and Kendrick and this beef? Like, it's ridiculous now. Stop it. Like, nobody cares. Nobody, I promise you. However, I understand A$AP Rocky is not a, A-list rapper, and not everyone is going to pick up on the album. Yes, he's married to Rihanna, but he's not mainstream where everyone's going to go. So you use Drake, it gets you on all the blogs, it gets people talking. I get it, but I feel like at this point it's much. But I understand his framework because look, I'm talking about it right now. So you know what I'm saying? It works. Now, while you're putting Drake's name in there, and he didn't use his name, but in an interview, the guy asks him, we were talking about Drake, and he says, yes. You'll hear after where he's like, oh, it's about just anybody, but whatever. The line that I have a problem with is him saying, yo, you stole my flow, so I stole your beat. Why, if you're going at a dude, would you call your wife his beat? I stole your beat. Now, if you stole his beat and you just took her for a little booty call, that's one thing. But you stole his beat and married her and had 3 kids with her. That, to me, you're insulting yourself, Playboy. Listen,
it's Drake. I mean,
why are you calling your wife another man's beat? That's whack to me. First, you stole my flow, so I stole your beat. What? Yo, that's my B. What are you talking about?
Obviously, the internet's going to decide who you're talking about on that
For
song.
sure. I think we all know.
They're going to say it's Drake. I mean, that's a man who was with you in those early days too,
sure.
Brought you on tour. Where did things go wrong in that relationship?
I mean, I don't know. I started just seeing people who just started out as friends and just became foes, seemed like they was unhappy for you, and just started sending shots.
Okay, that's fine. That's beef. I don't mind that part. Not at all.
I think that's what led to any of our misunderstandings or whatever the case is. So it really ain't smoke.
Does it feel resolvable to you, or you think it's too far?
It don't even need to be. Like, for what?
But you're like, no secret.
He can't resolve it because you're married to Drake's ex thing.
Like that song's for him.
No, I don't really.
Or it's for anyone.
Watch the back out now. Who's it for?
For whoever feel like it's about them.
What?
Fair enough.
Rewind that clip. First he says, yeah, it was Drake. And then he says, oh, it's for whoever who thinks that I'm talking about them. And just to be clear, trust me, I am not defending Drake. I just think that line is whack. We'll talk about this more.
Yeah. So what are you talking about here? ASAP, stop it. All right. That's it for quick news. Let's jump over to social discussion. I have two really, really good videos. Should you give up part of you for love? And do men want a real woman? Now, men, make sure you stick around. I know some of you like to run away when we start social discussion. This is for you. You really need to pay attention to this right here. Lesson of the day, we're going to talk about being transparent versus just being honest. And also, do you let your ego get in the way? And then question of the day is, do you keep your bread in the pantry or in the fridge? Let's go over to social discussion, lesson, and question of the day. All right, before we get to social discussion, lesson, and question of the day, I have a very important question to ask y'all. Is your computer, laptop, and cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you, because that is just an indirect question. Yes, they are, all three of them, if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Please go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud, to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or your home phone number and why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. Yes, it's legal. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit card or banking information, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager. They also have US-based round-the-clock customer service. Aura also includes, not offers, but includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. Try Aura today free for 14 days. You may already have a digital security protection, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. I'll put up the QR code here right now. There's the link below. Here's the QR code. Take out your phone and put it up with your camera. It will take you right there. You might do something online that you feel is innocent, whether it be Netflix, Amazon, or whatever. All your information is sold in the spirit of, oh, we just want to know what Trent's watching, what he's buying, whatever, blah, blah. It can get in the hands of bad actors, and that's how you get links from text messages, phone calls from people who never gave your phone number, to emails. You click that link, and it could be very, very bad, and you could lose all your information. Aura takes care of that for you automatically. They remove all of your information off of the dark web, and you'll be 100% secured, and they'll do it absolutely for free. Link below. Okay. Also, before we get to social discussion, everybody has always asked, hey, do you have PayPal? Do you have Venmo? We would like to give back to the show. Best way to give back to the show is through Super Chat while I'm live, or Super Thanks. Below, you'll see the comments. There's like 3 buttons. You click it. You might have to scroll to see a thanks button. You could change the comment there once you select the amount that you would like to give. It sends me a text message, kind of like notification. I'll like it harder. I'll reply to you right away. That's why I prefer it over PayPal and Venmo. It keeps us connected. Here is YouTube telling you better than I can.
Buy a Super Thanks by clicking the Thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right. And lastly, one last thing. I just want to remind you guys to sign up for the Out Loud membership, become an official Out Louder today. All right. If you're on YouTube, you'll see like the join button above me, or the membership somewhere there. Okay. All right. Let's get into social discussion. Y'all know I love a good discussion. The first question is, should you give up part of yourself for love? Now, right away, most of you are going to say, no, I'm not giving up part of me. I am secure in who I am, and that's it. I'm not changing for nobody. I'm going to find somebody who accepts me for me, because that's what a lot of us has been taught. Well, listen to this and try to stay open-minded.
Be a little bit controversial, but I think that you know you're ready to love again when your peace is no longer your priority. Because in order to allow yourself to love another person, there are going to be days where you sacrifice that peace. There's going to be arguments. There's going to be hardships. There's going to be low moments. And social media and movies and everything has created this fairy tale version of love that you're having people now entering into love and relationships being escape artists when it gets rough. Because we are all single for so long now that nobody gets to disturb my peace. Nobody gets to ruin this high horse I'm on. When you are single, you are in full control of your own energy. But if you allow yourself to merge souls with another person, then you're going to have to give up some of that power and give up some of that energy. So if you know in your heart of hearts that an argument can end it, then you're not ready. If you know that you want to be happy every day, rainbows and butterflies, then you're not ready. That's the real part of love nobody wants to talk about, because love is not all rainbows and happiness. Unless you want the unhappiness that comes with love, unless you want the arguments, unless you want the thick of it, then you're not ready. Because as someone who has been single for so long, it's fun. We are in full control of waking up and hop up out the bed, turn my swag on. It feels good being single. Nobody can ruin your day. Nobody can affect your mood. Nobody can alter nothing, because you are in full control. To know that you are ready to love somebody else is when you're willing to give up that control and take whatever comes with the give and take of that relationship. And that's the real part. It is not always going to be good. You're going to be crying sometimes. You're going to be pissed off sometimes. Your blood pressure might go up. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth fighting for. And as long as we keep looking for a fairy tale in love, then we're never going to have real love. So the long, short answer is, you know you're ready to love again when the peace is not the end goal. It's the passion of the two people.
I literally just said this yesterday when I played a clip from somebody, I think it was Godfrey, saying, yo, I just want peace. And he's like, yeah, I don't want peace at all. And listen, look, I'm the type of person who I do like my peace, but I have said millions of times on this show, the last thing I want to do is be single for the rest of my life. I would never want that. And I wouldn't want that for anybody. I don't want that for y'all. To love is to be ready to make sacrifices, to go through those conversations, to go through those times. I was really just talking about this with somebody the other day. Like, that is what's important, is those times. So, you know, when we think about relationships, you think like, oh, it's going to be amazing. And this is going to be, and we're going to have like, you know, somebody to travel with and somebody to spend time with and somebody to be in bed with in the morning and somebody to speak to and talk to. But nobody, or most people, don't think about the hard times. And you will never be able to go through life without having hard times. You'll have hard times with your siblings. You'll have hard times with your parents. You'll have hard times with your friends. There's no way that you are best friends with somebody or close friends with somebody and you haven't gone through hard times. And going through the hard times is what made them your best friend. And every time you go through something, it brings you guys closer, because you know, after time and time and time again, you guys are willing to go through that. So yes, as humans, we're wired to think about the good times, but it's all through those tough times that build the best relationships and gets you past the honeymoon phases. So I actually kind of look forward to those. All right, let's go over to, do men want a real woman? And I can answer that real easy. Yes, I do.
Every man wants a good woman until he gets one. And then suddenly he's overwhelmed, he's defensive and sabotaging the whole damn thing. You know why? Because a good woman doesn't feed your ego. She exposes your truth. She's a mirror. She reflects the shit you don't want to face. She'll call you out gently, but honestly, hey, this isn't aligned with the man you say you want to be. And that right there terrifies the hell out of a man who hasn't done the work. He's not used to being seen.
Not me. That gets me excited.
That deeply. He's used to chaos. He's used to drama. Women who accept breadcrumbs because they're scared to lose him. But a good woman, she's not scared to lose you. She's scared to lose herself. And this is where men spiral. Let me tell you the psychology behind it. Here's exactly what happens. First, her presence demands growth. Not because she nags or she's controlling, but because being with a woman like her forces you to rise into the man you keep pretending to be. Growth is uncomfortable, and accountability feels like pressure when you've spent the whole life avoiding responsibility. And second, his ego enters the chat, because loving a woman like her requires emotional vulnerability, honesty, consistency, letting go of your old patterns, saying goodbye to your coping mechanisms. And for some men, that feels like death to the ego. It's easier to say she's too much than to admit that I'm not ready to be the man she deserves yet. It's easier to sabotage the connection than to face the parts of yourself that still need healing. You didn't lose her because she wasn't enough. You lost her because she made you confront the version of yourself you were avoiding. A good woman doesn't ruin your life. She ruins your comfort zone. And if you're not ready to grow, you will sabotage the best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I think she nailed it on the head. This is the only thing that I want. You know what I mean? Like, this is everything to me. And I wouldn't ever be with something that's less, because we talk about this all the time, especially like in social discussion, where it's all about yin and yang. And what she's saying, what is the words that I use is a little bit different. I'm talking about pouring into each other. I love when my girl pours into me and I could pour into her, because I feel loved. Because when you want more for me, that is you letting me know that you love me, and vice versa. If you didn't care, if you didn't love me, you wouldn't want me to grow. You wouldn't want me to be better or bigger than I am now. That is real love. And she hit the nail on the head. Men that have ego, and I know I said I was going to stop using this word, but men that are insecure, I really have to find another word, but men that have ego and men that are insecure feel like they might feel less than, and feel like they might not be manly. A real alpha man, a real leader knows that behind every strong woman, behind every strong man is a stronger woman. That's been since the beginning of time. And again, like I've always said, whenever I play clips like this, of course, there's a lot of love and relationship online, but you could put this into a business. And I've always said this. You guys could check back when I had this account and my Instagram account talking about business. People say, "Hey, how do you attribute your success? How were you able to go from the trunk of your car to a national brand?" My team. I never want to be the smartest one in the room. If you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. We've heard that saying. Why would I want to be the smartest one in the room? No. I want to be the one making the decisions, 1,000%. I love being a CEO. I love being a boss, but I hire the best finance person, the best marketing person, the best this and the best that, and the best CEO and the best this. And we put everybody all into together in a room and we brainstorm. That's what I like doing, is making the decisions, but you got to keep good people around you and not think that because somebody is filling into you, that's going to hurt your ego. And actually, I've talked about that in lesson of the day. So let's go to lesson of the day. Do you want to be transparent, or you just want to be honest? And also, don't let your ego get in your way. Let's go to lesson. I pressed that a little too quickly. Let's go to lesson of the day. All right. I love this. I need you all to really pay attention, okay? You would think an honest person is enough. Oh, really? Listen to this.
Like honesty. I like transparency. Let me explain the difference. The difference with honesty is when I ask you, hey babe, who were you at dinner with? And you tell me the truth. Yeah. That means you're being honest. Transparency is, hey baby, I've got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant. Sarah's gonna be there.
Oh my gosh. Yo, I'm gonna replay it. I'm really sorry, but did you guys hear the difference? There was, you could speak in a way that nobody has to ask you a question. That is transparency versus honesty. Let me stop talking. Just listen.
Tell me the truth. Yeah. That means you're you, hey babe, who were you? Difference with honesty is when I ask you, hey babe, who were you at dinner with? And you tell me the truth. Yeah. That means you're being honest. Transparency is, hey baby, I've got dinner at 7 with James, Nathan, and his assistant. Sarah's gonna be there. That's transparency. So now, guess what? You were forthcoming. You told me what it was. And so now I trust it. Transparency removes the need for interrogation. When information is offered freely, there's nothing left to chase or question. It shifts the energy from suspicion to safety because you're not reacting, you're being included. Honesty answers questions. Transparency prevents them from needing to be asked in the first place. That's
oh my gosh. Please. Hold on. I need to drop a horn on that one. Woo! Rewind that, yo.
You're being included. Honesty answers questions. Transparency prevents them from needing to be asked in the first place. That's why transparency feels calmer. It doesn't activate anxiety or imagination. It creates clarity. When someone is transparent, they're not just sharing facts, they're showing respect for your peace of mind. Trust grows faster when there's nothing hidden, nothing delayed, and nothing left for interpretation. Real intimacy isn't about proving you're telling the truth. It's about living in a way that never makes the truth feel scary.
Jeez. And the reason why I'm so excited about that is like honesty is like very, very, very high on my value system, but not even me did I understand the difference of honesty and transparency. Like this was a huge, huge wake-up call. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys today. And you think, like, I think I shared this with you guys. Like, my father raised me since I was a little kid. And the only time my sister and I would ever get in trouble is if we lied to him. Like, that's it. Do not lie to me and you'll be fine. He said, if you ever do anything wrong or criminal or whatever, if I come into to the jail to get you, you can lie to the police. You can lie to whatever you want. You can lie to your lawyers. Don't lie to me and tell me what you did because I'll be there to work through it with you. I will love you and I will get you through it. So I've always thought just honesty. But this takes it to a whole other level. Yo, be so transparent that I don't have to ask you questions to be honest about. Woo! I really, really loved it. I think I'm going to like save this in my phone and play it over and over again. So now my value system has changed from honesty to transparency. Really, really love that. Okay, let's get back to ego. I'm going to try, like when I give you guys a social discussion, I'm going to try to put the lesson in lesson of the day, but listen to this.
People think ego shows up loud, arrogant, confident, full of themselves. But the real ego is quiet. It's the part of you that refuses to be wrong, refuses to be vulnerable, refuses to take responsibility, refuses to admit you still have growing up to do. And ego will make you lose people who cared about you. Woo. And people who loved you because apologizing feels like defeat. Woo. Ego will keep you in situations you outgrew because leaving feels like losing. And ego will stop you from asking for help because needing support feels embarrassing. And it will convince you that patience is weakness and that gentleness is surrender and that compromise is humiliation and that honesty is exposure. So ego will destroy relationships before you ever even give them a chance. It will push away the right people and cling on to the wrong ones just to protect your pride. And it will cost you opportunities because you refuse to start at the bottom. Woo! And it will cost you growth because you're scared to admit you don't know everything.
Wow.
And it will, eventually it'll cost you your peace because you're always trying to win. And here's the part that hurts the most. Ego doesn't ruin your life suddenly, it does it slowly. Woo! It chips away at your connections, your humility, your honesty, your self-awareness, your ability to love and be loved.
Wow.
And it leaves you isolated.
Woo!
But too stubborn to admit that you did it to yourself.
Wow.
So yeah, your ego will cost you everything because it convinces you You're above the work that actually builds a real life. You don't become stronger by protecting your pride. You become stronger by protecting your growth. Let the ego go. Keep the lessons, keep the people, keep the life you actually are trying to build. Pride feels good for a moment. Losing everything feels permanent. So choose wisely.
Oh, sorry. I just want to hear that last thing, what he said. Sorry.
You're above the work that actually builds a real life. You don't become stronger by protecting your pride. You become stronger by protecting your growth.
You become stronger by protecting your growth. That's gonna be on my next tattoo. You protect your strength. What? I even forgot what he said again. Hold on.
Let the ego go.
Hold on.
You don't become stronger by protecting your pride. You become stronger by
protecting your growth.
By protecting your growth.
You become stronger by protecting your growth. You become stronger by protecting your growth. Wow. This is what I try to do every day. Every day. I love to tell somebody, yo, thank you. Thank you for showing me this. Thank you for just taking the time to tell me something, but this was because of you. I try every day not to have any ego. I think just we're all humans. We do have a little bit, even if you don't want to, but I really try to just put that aside. And I try to amplify when people put their ego aside. And I'm like, yo, just want to highlight that you did good. This is something that you don't normally do. And you did this, like, good for you. So I not only work every day to put my ego aside, I also try to show the people, especially people who I care about, whenever they do something and they're putting their ego aside. I don't know really the type of person I was before therapy. I mean, I think I do, but because I've made so many changes, I'm not even sure, which is great. I don't even want to remember that Trent, and I want to remember this growth Trent. And just growing and changing, and I love to say I don't know. And people drag me in my own comment section on my own channel, Trent two sides, or somebody will say, like, you're so unbiased sometimes, or you're so, you don't have an opinion on something, and I feel like you're naive. And I think that is really me putting my ego aside and putting myself aside and be willing to grow. And I think that makes me a stronger person. And it lets me know the people who are making those comments, who they are. And I have no qualms about that. And I'm literally live, to thousands of people daily that will watch this show. And I'm okay with saying, I don't know how I feel about this, or, hey, can somebody tell me about, or whatever. And I'm really, really, really adamant about growth. And to grow, you have to put your ego aside and to be open-minded. So that is my 2 cents, man. Put your ego aside and be more transparent. All right, let's go to question of the day. Let's bring it back to some fun, and then we're going to the comment section. All right. Let's go to question of the day. All right.
Y'all do the bread.
Soup. Started it too quickly. Okay, question of the day, y'all. Do you keep your bread in the pantry or the fridge? I don't have a pantry, but I guess it could be like keep it in the cupboard. But why would you want to keep your bread in the cupboard when you can keep it in the fridge and it lasts longer? And you're going to hear this guy saying, yo, when it's in the fridge, it's a little bit harder and it's a little bit colder. Well, bro, you just take it out and put it in a plate for 5 minutes. It's not the freezer. That's a whole other story, which, listen, I live alone. So yeah, I might not go through a whole loaf of bread, so I'll put it right in the freezer. But even if that wasn't the case, like, put it in the fridge first. I'll put it in the fridge first, and then if I don't finish it, I'll put it in the freezer. I'm very excited to see what you guys say about this, but listen.
The pantry or the fridge, I'm trying to tell y'all, do the bread go in the pantry or the fridge? I'm trying to tell my mom that the bread don't go in the fridge, it goes in the pantry.
It go in the fridge, it lasts longer.
No, it be cold in the fridge and hard when it sit in the fridge. It go in the pantry.
It's simple. You just pop it in the microwave with a toaster. Boom.
Or leave it on the counter.
I don't want to do no orthopedic surgery on my bread. I just want to get it, unwrap it, spread the peanut butter jelly sandwich, and eat it right there, man.
Cool. Pop yours in the pantry, and we're going to see who lasts the longest.
Mine not going to last long at all. I'm going to eat the whole thing in the next 2 days.
Yo, I'm sorry. No, it's literally in the fridge right away. All right, let's go over to the comment section and see. Oh. I forgot I have 2 questions of the day. That was one. I don't know why I'm doing 2 questions of the day. Actually, I'm going to save it. There's no point of having 2 because I think this is a good one as it is. Let's go over to comment section. All right. It's come. What? Will with the super chat? Yo, Will. Where is it here? Why isn't it letting me put this on the screen? Oh my gosh. Hold on. No, not that one. Wait a second. Will with the $100 super chat? Yo, Will. Hold up, my friend. Wow. Thank you. Will Wallace, but because of my my dyslexia, I call him Will Willis because when I first met him, I didn't know how to pronounce his name. But Will says everybody else supports their own. Let's support ours. He has good contacts, smart, little funny, and his info been on point for the most part. He even went to NYC from Canada to give us Diddy coverage. Hardworking dude, and he's going live for us now. We got to show up. Oh my gosh. Wow. Will, thank you. I'm humbled by it, man. Thank you. Honestly, like, that means everything to me. But honestly, more importantly, just the message means even more than the super chat. That means a lot to me, man. Thank you. To know that I'm a little funny. I think I'm very funny. But to know that first of all, putting the message out there to support our own. Always say that. So totally agree. Good contacts, smart. I really appreciate that. Thank you. On point for the most part. That's okay. It's okay if you can disagree with me sometimes. We want that kind of thing here. And working hard, man. A hardworking dude and going live for us. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Will. Round of applause, everybody, please. Shout Will out in the comment section, please. Wow. Okay. Let's go back up to the top. Give everybody their fair chance. Wow. Will, thanks a lot again, man. Vain Music. I started to skip this episode. 66 seems more my speed. So, by the way, the reason why things are a little bit messed up, where I didn't go on Instagram right away and why we're not on LinkedIn, is that I tried to put episode 665.9. It wouldn't let me do it. 665 on a thing and 9, and it wouldn't let me do it. Just know that I will be going on YouTube after and changing this, and it will not stay episode 666. Okay, just to let you know that. Nolan said, howdy outlouders. What up? Sheila said, what up? How are you? Nolan said, happy Friday. I could never do that though. 666. No, I know, guys. I will be changing it. So glad I got on the chat today. Big ups for surviving another week. Yes, Nolans. Good evening, Outlouders and Trent. What up, Felicia? I don't even watch anything else. I appreciate Trent. Common sense. Thank you very much, Vain Music. Really appreciate you too. Hey, Trent, happy Friday. That's Emily. And Angela. I'm Mama Angel. Oh, Angel. Hi, Angel. So glad I got you. Love your podcast. Thank you very much, Angel. Victoria BC said OMG. That's funny. All right, Mystery said hello, Trent. This from Twitch and the UK. Nolan said, yep, we all waiting for the tea. The old news can compete with the new news. I'm just saying. Love that. Victoria said, woo. She said, streaming on Twitch from the UK. Happy Friday, my darling Trent. Angel. Victoria said, don't matter. It's Friday. Robert said, what up, my brother and Out Louder family? Staying safe and blessed straight out of Pittsburgh, PA. Steelers Nation. What up? Kim said, what up, everybody in the chat? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Let's go out louders. Victoria said, bye. Howdy, Nolan. Crystal said, what up, Trent? Out louders. Crystal in the house. Let's go. Sheila, Kim says hi to Sheila. Hi, Crystal. Hope all is well. That's from Kim. And just said, I don't. Oops, you're onto something. I don't know what that means. Hey, Kim, happy Friday from Crystal. Hey, Sheila, Crystal, happy extended weekend. Hello, Roberta. Hope you're doing today. Okay, that's you guys talking to each other. Hey, Trent, happy Friday. Gia, what up, what up, what up? Trent Out Loud Show. This is invert something. Trent Out Loud Show will make you popular. Come on in. Love that, love that. Oh, I think that's a spam account. Hey, Nah, thank you. Hope you're having an enjoyable and have a great weekend. And Natasha said, hi. What up, Natasha? Natasha's in the chat. Alicia said, good morning, everybody. This is your girl from Cleveland, Ohio, having an awesome weekend. Let's go. Bah, 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 bah. Nolan said, I'm Crystal. Okay, Crystal. So excited for the extra day. We'll participate in a tribute march for Martin Luther King and visit your museum on Monday. Any special plans in your community? I don't know. Maybe we'll take Monday off, seeing that we really are an American show. Will Willis said, don't forget to hit that like button for Trent, y'all. I just hit it myself. Thank you very, very much, Will. And Kim said, hey, Will. Bah, 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 bah. Crystal said, not that I'm aware of, Nolan. Unfortunately, my company does not have an extra day off, so I'm working. Crystal said, what up, Will? Hey, you guys, let me know. I'm going to ask you from now before we sign off. Should I do a Monday show or should I take off Monday with y'all? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Tez says racism normalized out loud again. That's about Nick Fuentes. Will said hi to Kim. Nolan said there may be an online activity or program you should participate in. Will said to Crystal, hey there. Nolan said, actually, I got hip to Charlie Kirk through TOL. Now this guy, never heard of him. Wild and weird. Yeah, Nick Fuentes is huge. Oh my God. Will gifted 10 out loud. Yo, Will, come on. Hold on. I got to go and give Will. Yo, Will, man. Thank you. Wow. I hope you guys scooped up those memberships. Hold on. Let me scroll back up. Where is this? Oops, hold on. I got to find out where I was now. Why does it make me do that? Oh, here we go. Wow. Thank you, Will, for the 10 memberships. We got 10 new out louders in the building. Will, my brother, man, my brother. I honestly don't know what to say. And as you guys know all the time, when I'm speechless, that means that it's a lot going on in my head because I always have something to say. So, Will, I just thank you. I thank you for being you. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh, Will, you're at it again. This is Crystal. You're awesome. Yo, give it up to Will. Kim, throw out some haymakers. Who is this? I don't know how to pronounce the name. LAQ. I'm just going to say Jones. I finally caught you live. I watch all your videos. You keep me on point with all the juicy news. Well, welcome, Miss. I'm just going to call you Miss Jones. Okay. I give everyone nicknames. Sorry for my dyslexia. Kim said, good evening, Tess. Hope all is well. Nolan said, but look who she gave the Nobel Prize to. Really? I know, crazy. Listen, if it gets her in as president, fine, but whatever. Trump couldn't wait to get his hands on that Nobel Peace Prize. It should be confiscated from both of them. That says, good evening, Kim. All is well. How about you? She's in love with the... Kim says, things are great over here. Thanks for asking. Nolan says, but you earned your journalism award. Well-deserved, Trent. Thank you very, very much. It was a business award, but thank you. Tez says, I can't believe this Secretary of Agriculture actually said Americans can eat healthy for $3. A piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, a tortilla, and couldn't remember the other thing. Just don't let me even get started on him. Patricia said, why the hell are you in the middle of a protest with kids in your car? He was just driving. I can't vouch and say exactly where he was going, but he was not part of the protest. Hey, by the way, these protests are happening where people have to still go to the doctor, the grocery store, and live their lives. Even the other lady that was on their way to the doctor's appointment, the one that they grabbed her out of her car and they cut her seatbelt off and stuff. Like, there's people that still live or have to live. Nolan said, attacking children is a hate crime. Shame on ICE. Ridiculous. Rishi said, some people being harassed by ICE agents are U.S. citizens going on about their day business. Thank you. Exactly. Totally unacceptable. Don't Be Dumb is the album. Oh, Kiss 315 was talking about A$AP Rocky. Don't Be Dumb. Thank you for that. Kate Thomas said, howdy, Trent. Kate from West London. What up, what up, what up, what up? West London in the UK. Didn't Rihanna hint at another baby? I think so. Ted says, Trent with the behind the scenes antics. I'm working behind the scenes. Okay. I heard the same thing, Tez, about Rihanna. That was from Kim. Nolan said, B is slang culturally for young folks. It's not considered disrespectful. They ignore the history of using, I don't know what that word is, degraded, I think, language towards one another. I don't agree with it. That's what they do. Hold on. I'm not saying that if he wants to call his wife like, yo, that's my B word, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. If she's okay with it. What I'm saying is, why would you call another man, ex-girl who is your wife, your B? He's saying, I stole your B. You should have said, yo, I stole back my B. Not I stole your B. Why would you want to, first of all, remind people that Drake was with her? Why would you do that? You're trying to diss the guy. That is the diss. You're dissing yourself. It's a horrible line, not the use of the word. That's a whole other conversation. I'm saying, why would you take the opportunity to remind people that that was his B first? That's just stupid. The visualizer was crazy on the entire album. Move the phone around to see the whole view. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about there. I'm sure you're probably talking about the A$AP Rocky album. I haven't seen the cover and all that stuff. Tez says, Kim, maybe they are chasing Nick Cannon's record. Maybe. Hey, Willis. That's what Ted says. Like this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Will Willis with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Will. Thank you. Emily said, like and share. Yes, please like and share. Kim said, let's go, Will Wallace. Tez, salute. Will we love the support? Will said, live is way better. We got to show up. Views, likes are just as important. Thank you, Will. Happy Friday, everyone. That's from Emma. Then we're going to go to Kim again with Will. Somebody said, no, I'm not too sure about what. Will said, it's Friday here in San Francisco, California. Hope everybody is doing all right. I want to visit San Francisco. I used to live in LA for a summer. My aunt lived out there, whatever. I've never been to San Francisco. I need to come out to the Bay Area. Last Shay said, hey, Trent and Out Louders. What up, my Jamaican sister? What up? Doing great, Will, from Tez. Robert says, but she has said was on point, because if you don't give up the past, you will never grow. And I understand what she's talking about on a man's side, because I have been there. Totally agree with you. Will said, Trent is going to read all the comments. I don't want to keep being read. Tez, I think Trent is doing a hella great, and you too, ASAP. Lachey said, why is it so hard to find such a simple love? Well, life is tough. And like we just talked about, love is not simple. It requires a lot of work. Love and a relationship will be the hardest thing you do in life. Will says, my audio correct is working with me. Tez, Mystery said, I had a very good man in my life, but he was no longer here a few years ago. Sorry to hear that. We were together for nearly 40 years. Wow. And to find love again is certainly going to be a challenge. But you're right, Trent. Love and companionship are very fulfilling in any relationship. Oh, man, I feel bad for you. Sorry about that. Sorry to hear about that. But I feel like you will find maybe not the same thing, but I feel like you will find something. Good people always find a way to find other good people. So I hope you find what you need. Shay Lala says, I never want to stop learning. 100,000%. I always need to grow. Throw away that ego. Next, Diamond says she hit it with everything she said. Dropped a mic. I agree with her. 100%. Tess says 1,000%. Will, my autocorrect is trying me. Same thing like with Will. Or no, she's just laughing at Will. Kim says, hey, Shay, last Shay. Hope all is well. That's from Kim. She better teach. Mystery says transparency is the best policy. Totally agree. Totally agree. Tez says, wow, she went straight to interrogation. She told the truth. Transparency prevents it. 100% agree. Kim said facts. I love that y'all are feeling that. Love that. Agreed. Always be true, honest, and act without pretense or intentions. Transparency is key. Crystal said, immature and insecure men don't want a real woman because a real woman will hold a man accountable, and that shatters their ego. These type of men don't take accountability. They'll just blame you. Totally agree, Crystal. Kim is saying hi to La Shay. Ego is I as in me. I think that's your autocorrect or something. Or maybe I'm reading it wrong. Hey, Teresa, good afternoon. Bam, 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 bam. Nolan says, excellent word, powerful message. Let the ego go. I love it. Kim said, okay, now say that ish. Protect peace and protect growth. Tess says, that should be a class required for graduation. Totally agree with you. Crystal said, even when you just inform them how they hurt you, somehow they will find a way to turn it on you, blame you. I hate when people do that, or undermine your feelings by telling you are too much, too sensitive, or too crazy. I just listen. There's a new phrase for that. It's called gaslighting. Crazy work. Cupboard or freezer? Hold on. Midlife secret. What about the fridge? You went from cupboard just to freezer? Or are you saying cupboard and then when it gets too old, freezer? Okay, fair. Question of the day. Keep my bread in the freezer? Wow, you go right to freezer, mystery. Okay. Nolan said bread goes in the pantry. Wow. I'm so surprised that everyone is people are split. Hey, is Nolan's on Twitch? Gia says, as soon as I buy my bread, I stick it straight in the freezer. Wow, that's crazy. Why not the fridge? You probably live alone. Nolan said, hey, mystery. Last Shay said, when you're fully transparent, it makes it hard for anybody that tries to hurt you using what they know about against you. Oh, yes, that's a whole other reason too by being transparent. Love that. Crystal said these men would rather fumble an irreplaceable woman than take accountability and have a healthy discussion or fix the issue because they would have to admit there is a problem. Totally agree with you, Crystal. Lashay says, yep, in the freezer right away, girl. Wow. Nolan's in the house is over on Twitter. Now that means we have two people, not on Twitter, on Twitch. Nolan says, this is cool network. We can see question of the day. Go, Will. Cool. Felicia said, I keep my bread in the fridge. There we go. Finally, somebody like me. I buy fresh baked bread, so I leave it out for a day or so, then goes in the freezer right away. Totally agree. Lashay said, wow, Will, I didn't even notice. I don't open what? I know right open the eyeballs you see that let's go Will. Okay, something's going on with Will here. Somebody said Will. Go Will. Go Will. I guess that was the super chat that you guys saw. There you go. Love that. Facts, make it rain, my man. Thanks again, Will. Thank you very much. Mystery said, hey, Trent, there are 2 of us on Twitch today. I'm not alone anymore. Go Twitch. Teresa said, I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. Peace. Shakira said, happy Friday, Trent Out Louders. One time for the University of Miami Hurricanes. Let's go. Miami girl in the building. Mario Lee with the shades. Teresa said, take a break, Trent. Enjoy the holiday. Okay. I like that. Y'all know I'm not afraid of taking an extra day off. Emma said, hey, Kim. Kim said, no, I need a Monday show. Okay, we got 2 right now. Will said, you are kind and generous to Emma. Hey, Emma. Trent, if you would like to take a day off, you should. But if you do, don't be pulling another one of your hiatus. That's really funny. That's somebody who really knows me. No, if I do take a day off, it will be a straight just one day off. Okay, promise. Kim said, sorry, my phone did autocorrect. Hello, Emma. There we go. They're saying hi to each other. Happy Friday, Trent. Hey, y'all. One time for university. Okay, I read that one already. Nolan said, find a great MLK art exhibition and share with us later. All right. Sounds cool. Shakira said, hello. Mario said, dictators don't announce themselves. They normalize attacking the press, elections, and anyone who disagrees. Woo! That's strong. Really good point. Midlife Secret says, Will, you are the coolest. Will definitely is the coolest. Lachey said, Trent, you're going to need moderators pretty soon if you continue doing lives just to protect your chat. Food for thought. I 100% know. I already know who it's going to be. Like, I already know. But yes, we'll definitely look into that too. Dr. Martin Luther King is a day of service traditionally. That is Midlife Secrets. Shilela said, I would love a live if you are up to it on Monday. Noted. Nolan said, yes, Trent. I had to see what platform I like the best. Information is delivered differently. I could read the information better on YouTube. I like Twitch too. All right. Cool. Great. Mystery said, great show, Trent. Thank you very much. And it's freezing out east, definitely. And Teresa said, I want to be a moderator. Love your show. Thank you. And Mercy said, Trent, you take Monday off and have a long weekend. We'll catch you on Tuesday. Okay. You know what I'll do? If there is not like any pressing news, I'll take it off. But if it's something that I feel like we need to come together and talk about, I will come and talk about it with you guys on Monday. But if I feel like there's really not much to talking about, I'm not going to force it. I'll take the day off. So just, you'll get the notifications or follow on Instagram. Okay. All right. Let me do my sign off and then I will come back to any last comments. Okay. So he had a good show, first of all. By the way, this highlights our second full week doing live. So shout out to us. Shout out to you guys for tuning in. Second full week live. When I first started out the lives, I was like, I'm going to do some, but then not do some. And then I was going to put some videos during the day. I'm really liking these lives. I feel like you guys are really liking the lives too. And if you've seen this past week, I've just mostly kept everything to the live. So I hope you guys are liking it. I am too. Not only the people who are catching the lives, but let me know in the comment section, the people who are not even catching the lives, if you're liking this format, and we should just stick over to the live tab on YouTube. Okay. Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of 3 things. First thing is, For those of you who are catching us live and you want to give back to the show, like my man, Will Willis. I don't know if I should call you your real name now or your nickname. I think Will Willis is still my favorite. So if you want to be like Will Willis, please give a super chat. Or after the video, there's a super thanks. You'll see it in the comment section somewhere around the underneath the video. There might be 3 buttons. You may have to search for it. Click that thanks and give back to your favorite YouTube host. Second thing is, do not forget to sign up for the Out Loud membership, or we'll just buy 10 of them. So make sure that you take them right away. Shout out to Will once again. And thirdly, make sure you sign up for Aura today. Do not surf online or do anything online without having an Aura protection. You'll hear a lot of Out Louders saying, wow, I love Aura. Try it for 14 days. They will take all your information that's on the dark web off for absolute free, okay? Don't go online without it. Now, before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you of the 3 major ways to stay up to date with the Trent Out Loud show. The first thing is, for the people who like to listen to shows like this, we're available on all podcast platforms. Just go to any pod site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show, and we upload 5 days a week, all right? Now, if you're like me and you like to watch shows like this on video, head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. 6 things I'm gonna need you to do, and a lot of people have been saying this in the chat already, is the first 2, hit that like and hit that subscribe button, get the algorithming. We're in a world of algorithms, all right? Third thing, very, very, very important, please try to comment underneath the videos. I love all the comments during the live. Of course, that's why we are live. But for those of you who are watching this after a post, please join in on the conversation. I tell everybody all the time whenever I'm asked, how do you do a show by yourself? I don't do a show by myself. You guys are my co-host. I need your interaction even after it's posted. So please comment below, argue, tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right, tell me whatever you want. Just comment and interact, okay? It's really important for me. Now, for those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation, I don't want you to feel pressured. One of the really key things that I love to see is how global this show is. Every night before I go to bed, I look at all the comments, and my favorite thing to see is which country or city you are watching from. So if you don't want to join in, just let me know where you're watching from. Fourth, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. It helps in growing the channel. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. This is the long game. I'm going to be here 5 years, 10 years, and I'm really about slow growth and building a community. So share it with like-minded people. Share the channel, share the episode with people that think like us, Republicans, Democrats, independents, that want to have a conversation, hear about something, and talk about something. Please help me with that. Share, share, share. Fifth, sign up for the Out Loud membership. And 6th, do not forget super thanks and the super chat. Now, the third one that we have just added in 2006, we are live. So yes, you can catch us on podcast platform and on YouTube, but you can also catch us live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Kick, Instagram, and Twitch, okay? Yeah, and also on YouTube, what I love that we've figured out is that you can either choose if you want to be live on a TV format or live on a mobile format, okay? So you have literally 5 different ways to catch the show live, and it also posts on those platforms after as well. So make sure you check us out. Now, for those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram, but lately, this past week, I've been more active on other platforms. So catch me on TikTok, catch me on Twitter. I'm posting all my videos everywhere now, okay? But I am still the most active on Instagram, so make sure you follow Trent Out Loud there. Now, I've said this to you a couple of times this week. Please follow the Trent Out Loud show on Instagram. That is our official Instagram page for our show. You guys have seen me today on this show play a couple of reels. I will be continuing to do that Saturday, Sunday, Martin Luther King Day, etc. If you like my takes, if you like staying up to date with things, really, that is going to be the new hub. Every hour or every 2 hours, I put out a video for you guys. I give a quick take, and you can stay up to date and interactive with the show there. So please try to support me over there as well too. All right. Let's go quickly to the last couple of comments, and then we are out and we start our weekend, y'all. Kim said, another great show, Trent. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And as always, peace, love, and happiness. Mystery says, good night, Trent and all. Crystal says, yes, loving the live format. Shay says, sound good to me. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Congrats on your second week going live. Thank you very much. Kim said, loving the live shows. Excuse me. Natasha said, yes, agree with you, Kim. Crystal said, it's easier to be a co-host with the lives. Totally 100% agree with you. That's why I'm really sticking to lives. Like I said, I'm not even doing the daily punch-ins and stuff anymore. Just sticking with the lives. Diana said, hey, Trent. Well, I feel we should not ever lose ourselves entirely in another person. That's unhealthy, and it happens. I know, but a little bit here and there. Hack, yes. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to, but yes, you don't want to ever 100% lose yourself at all, but you want to give to the person who you love. Crystal said, I feel like the past 2 weeks, this community has become so much stronger now that the show is live. Shout. Let's just even this community is strong. 1,000%. Nolan said, great work. And the last comment is from Nolan's, lives rock. Totally agree with you. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, please have yourself an excellent weekend. Shout out to Will one last time for the amazing super chat. Thank you so much. And like I said, that message means a lot. That I will take that into the weekend. Maybe potentially long weekend if there's no big news to talk about on Monday. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Have an amazing Martin Luther King. I might see you on Monday, or if not, meet me back here Tuesday, same time, same place. I love y'all. Thank you for a second week of amazing lives. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!